Straight off the hip, Car Chronicles, another edition of Car Chronicles. Just want to give a shout out to all my subscribers. I have 1,700 subscribers. I need 300 more to hit that 2,000 mark. Please, excuse me, subscribe, like, comment. I want to thank everybody for doing that. But if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and like and comment on my YouTube page. Uh, Disclaimer: when I talk about relationships, I am not a relationship guru. All I do is just come from a common sense perspective from a average man like me, and pretty much just give my 2 cents what I think. I never claim to be a guru in any type of sort. I'm just going off of experience and common sense. All right, let's get straight to it. So I noticed all through 2025, this is like one of the biggest gender wars, um, and maybe in American history. I don't think in foreign countries it's like this, but in America it is, where the whole morals and traditions of relationships have gone out the windows in 2025. Modern dating, modern relationships, modern women, modern men, and it's kind of crazy this year how everything is going. There's a lot of men that's saying they want a traditional woman, and there's a lot of women that say they want a traditional man, but both parties act totally the opposite. And I remember I was talking to this one woman, uh, like a long time ago. She was just saying how her granddaddy used to take care of all the bills and all of that, and he was the breadwinner, and he was the provider, but failed to forget that her granddaddy also had another family on another side of town. So back in those days, in the 50s, the 60s, in the 70s, you know, those type of dudes, they felt like if they're paying all the bills, they should have something on the side. So let's just tell the whole truth on that. You know, now there were some good men that were providers and did all of that. But back in those days, in the 50s, 60s, and the 70s, the cost of living was very cheap. I'll give you a prime example. My granddaddy's house that was paid off almost 40 years ago before he died, his mortgage, what I was told by my mom and other people, his mortgage at that time was $150 a month. So he was paying $150 a month mortgage back in the 60s, which that was a lot of money to them, which is equivalent to maybe $1,000 a month now. So he was paying $150 a month mortgage, plus he had two jobs that was paying him minimum wage and all of that. And my granddaddy was a pastor, so yeah, He had pretty much three jobs, provided for all the family and all of that. But he wasn't those type of guys that was doing saying if I'm gonna provide everything, I should have some aside. No, my granddaddy was never that. But my granddaddy, he had a lot of morals and a lot of core values, and that type of leadership in the family of a man providing, those days are gone because, like, it don't, the average man can't provide for a family by itself anymore. Like, I did this whole uh, research on if a man want to provide for a family without going broke every month, he has to make at least $250,000. That's just an average in maybe out of 50 states, maybe 40 of the states it can work. Some men will have to make 300 to provide for a family by himself without any other help. So, and it's crazy how the modern day the world is, how some women say they want providers. And guess what? And I remember I did this research where maybe about 70% of men that quote unquote say they're providers go broke at the end of the month. providing for their family. So at the end of the month, you have $0. All your bills is paid, but you have $0 left over. And then it's sometimes, and then when the man asks the woman, can they work? The woman gets an attitude. It felt like, no, he should provide. So, so let's just be real. We live in a world where everything is super unrealistic, and men have unrealistic expectations. Women have unrealistic expectations. A lot of men say they want a baddie that look like one of those models on Instagram. A lot of women say they want a man that's 6 feet tall with a six pack and a 6 inch digging stick that makes six figures a year. So and it's kind of unrealistic. And I'm just gonna be real. Majority of the men in America are under 6 feet. Majority. Look at the numbers. Majority of the men in America are under 6 feet. Majority of the men that make six figures a year are under 6 feet. And I'll be honest. And I remember I was telling this one girl, I just said, look, if you want a man that makes six figures a year, you, good luck, because only 10% of men in America make over $100,000 a year. 10% of men in America. That's it. The 90% of men make between 30 to 75, $80,000 a year. 10% of men make $100,000 a year in America. So, and I told this girl that, she looked at me real crazy, and I said, "Look, you better off finding a man that's making 60 to 70 a year, and you have a decent job, and then it will make everything work." And then, some women don't want to work. Some women, I know some women that quit their jobs to be a content creator full time while their husband's going broke. I know some women that yeah, they cook and clean, stay at home. They cook and clean, watch the kids, all of that. But they but the price of having one income in today's world is, you're not going to have the luxury of buying those new Jordans. You're not going to have the luxury of taking those vacations. You're not going to have the luxury of doing all the amenities that higher income families are doing. It's always a drawback when it's one person providing everything. If he's making less than a certain amount of money, then it's going to be a lot of drawbacks. Like I said before, if a man want to take care of everything, like all bills, expenses paid, and have money left over to save, a man will have to at least make $250,000. I know some people say, "Oh, it could work with 100,000." Yeah, it could work with 100,000 when you live in a rural area in America, where your rent is under $1,000 a month, where gas is cheap, where the houses is under $200,000 to $300,000. But if you live in a metropolitan city area, $250,000 will take care of everything. And I remember I sat down with my own wife and we did the math. And I remember she asked me, like, how much it would cost to take care of everything. And when we came up with that number, that would take care of every bill in the house, plus money to save on the side. So, and some people that live in states like New York and California, they'll say that's not enough, because there's people I know in California that's making $100,000 a year, and is still trying to apply for food stamps in California. There's people in New York that's making $100,000 a year, and they're still living in shitty apartments in downtown Manhattan. It's real out here in the field. So, and then I'm looking at how the whole relationship landscape of, it's crazy out here. It's crazy out here. So It just yeah. But I'm just reading the chat. Shoot. But anyway, but now I ain't give up on what? Give up on what? But anyway, yeah, somebody in the chat trying to troll, but yeah, it is what it is. But but yeah, the relationship world is crazy. So, and I'm gonna say this: some of these dudes is gonna die alone, and some of these women are gonna die alone. Some of these people is going to die alone. And I'm gonna be real. I know some men right now that have no kids, no family, and they're sleeping in their grave, died alone. And then some of those guys regret not getting married or regret not working out their marriage with their wife and all of that. So it's real out here in the field. So yeah, it's real out in the field because a lot of people just don't understand. Like, but yeah, but those days, though, the days of traditional relationships are over. And and I'm just gonna talk to some. And let me switch up and say something. And some of you guys, you nice guys, some of you nice guys, I'm just gonna say this. Some of you nice guys that be simping out, please stop the shit. Stop the shit with the simping. Like real talk. Like, and here's the reason why. If if you're gonna simp, just know that the consequences of you simping is you ain't gonna get nowhere. You ain't gonna get nowhere. You was not gonna get nowhere. Like, and I'm just saying that because at one point I was a nice guy, and eventually I woke up. Now I did not wake up and become a raging red pill person, no, and no, which I'm not, you know. But I woke up and smartened up. So and then, and I'm just gonna say this: you nice guys that always be finishing last, I'm just gonna give you some advice. Stop the simping, and because a lot of you nice guys, y'all overcompensate for a woman that don't want you at all. If that chick, and I'm just gonna be real, if you get a chick number and she call you call her, if you call her and she just one word you to death, it's a wrap. That means she don't want you, bruh. Or if you text her and she just one wording you to death, she don't want you, bruh. If she only call you to take her out to eat and don't pay you no attention at the dinner table, she don't want you, bruh. Don't live through that blind fantasy that your mama told you. And I'm just gonna let you know, for you nice guys and simps, your mama fucking lied to you. She lied to you. All that shit saying you need to show the chivalry and all that. No, you need to treat these hoes accordingly. I mean, if she act like a thought, you gotta treat her like a thought. If she's a good girl, you treat her like a good girl, depending on if she's a chameleon or not. Because there's some women that's some chameleons, where they'll act like a good girl, but it really they ain't shit behind closed doors, and that's how it is. But you nice guys, you simps, you have to understand that. Look, these hoes do not care about you. A lot of these hoes play niggas out of survival. So a lot of these hoes is hungry. They need a meal. They need some money. They need their bills paid, and they look for niggas like you. Like, I'm real. You nice guys, stop attracting toxic women and start looking for healthy relationships. And I'm just gonna say this. Here's some things you can do. Number one, Take your focus off women and work on yourself. Self, if you got a lot of relationship trauma, go see a relationship therapist or something. If you got all, take focus on yourself. Go to the gym. Get a work a job. Get two jobs. If you got one job, get two jobs. Update your appearances. Don't be out here wearing them silk Dragon Ball C shirts and shit, and wearing those damn bucket hats with animators on there. You know, do that shit at a convention, but don't do that shit going on a date. Mars or TJ Maxx to the class right. Get you some nice polo shirts. Or go to Burlington be having some fire fun like shoes and some clothes for men. If you don't know how to if you don't know how to match your clothes, go on YouTube. There's plenty stylists on YouTube that give out free game. I'm giving hey, if you want to learn fitness, there's on YouTube that do fitness tutorials that give you some code game on keeping your body update. So, I'm just saying, focus on yourself. I remember my mama told me this a long time ago. She said, "Son, focus on your purpose, not these hoes." And when she told me that, I said, "Dang, for real?" She said, "Told me to focus on the purpose, not these hoes." And then now, even though my mom gave some good, okay advice, but some of the stuff she told me too about females didn't work out either. But she did give me a couple nuggets that I took with me. So it is what it is. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think about today's modern relationships, and modern women, and all of the relationship wars and all of that. This your boy Mitch TV.